Hello and welcome to Impact Magazine. I'm Anam Sheikh and joining us today is Anjali Mehra, Executive Vice President, Brand and Communication, the Leela Palaces, Hotels and Resorts, as the iconic brand celebrates 40 timeless years in Indian luxury. Let's speak to Anjali and know more. Hello Anjali, welcome to Impact.
Hi Anam, pleasure to be here and thank you for having me.
How are you feeling, Anjali?
Excited. Usually I'm on the other side of the camera, so it's a little odd to be on this side of the camera, but to be able to do it with you, I think is a privilege and an honor. So thank you for having me.
Oh, I love the enthusiasm. So tell me Anjali, as Leela Palaces marks 40 years, how are you balancing nostalgia and relevance for young travelers who are experiencing the brand for the first time?
This is a milestone moment for us, and usually, one celebrates maybe 50 years, 75 years, 100 years. But as we were approaching 40 years, we thought this was a good idea to celebrate this as a milestone because it's been a pivotal time in the journey of the brand. Mm-hmm. The brand, as you all know, was founded in 1986 by the visionary Captain Nair. Mm-hmm. And then in 2019, the brand was acquired by Brookfield. So the last 6 years have been actually quite transformational while preserving everything that was good and great about the brand and the vision of the founder. Last year, as you know, we went public and we became a public listed company on both the National Stock Exchange and the Bombay Stock Exchange. I think it's really a time to celebrate what was created 40 years ago, still resonates with the audience today, and continues to set global benchmarks in pure play luxury. I think we are the only pure play luxury brand from the country, and we've been recognized globally for what we have been created, and that is something that we are extremely proud of, but also that gives us the additional responsibility of preserving everything that the brand has stood for, which is true Indian luxury. How do we continue to be authentic? How do we continue to be true in every sense of the word? How do we continue to continuously evolve what luxury means today? Because the whole meaning of luxury is also evolving, right? So how do you stay relevant? Plus your audience is changing today. Our customer today is much younger. They are far more widely traveled, they're far more aware. So how do you evolve a timeless brand which is rooted in culture, rooted in heritage, rooted in what India stands for, but ensure that it stays relevant to the young, evolving consumer of today? And we've done that through our experiences, we've done that through some signature programming that we've instituted, and also elevating our food and beverage programming.
How are you investing this culture-led thinking into your wellness retreats, experiences, and how are you evaluating the ROI you get on this?
So all across, I think culture is our moat. It's our biggest differentiator in everything that we do. Whether it is in our partnerships or collaborations or the kind of activations that we do. So for example, you mentioned wellness. Our wellness program is called Ojasya by the Leela. Ojasya means vitality. And it is deeply rooted in the concept of synergy of food. So we've collaborated with Dr. Ankita Jalori, who is a food nutritionist and a scientist. And she has guided us on the nutrition pillar of wellness. Again, authenticity, again, rooted in our culture and our sciences and our history. And our chefs have then worked under her guidance to really give shape and form to what the nutritional pillar of Ojasya by the Leela stands for. I'll give you another example, our signature fragrance, Tishya. When we were coming up with the signature fragrance, the idea was not to replace a bath amenity program, even though that was the original brief or the original reason why we started looking at it. But I felt that there was a need there was an opportunity for us to do something different in sensory branding and emotionally connect with your audience in a way that you become a part of their memory before, during, and after their stay. And fragrance and that whole olfactory senses was a great way of doing it. And there again, we looked at our heritage, and we looked at our culture, and we looked at our roots, and the fragrance that we came up with. Tisha, the name means a sense of joy and happiness, rooted in Sanskrit, but the fragrance is Kumud and Nilgiri. And Kumud is lotus, which is our national flower, which was the favorite flower of our founder chairman, Captain Iyer, and is a running motif that runs across our hotels. Every hotel of ours has a lotus pond. So it was a absolutely easy choice that one would select a flower that had so much meaning to our culture, but also to us as a brand. And then in it, we added notes of Nilgiri, which is a flower that blooms once in 12 years. So that brings in the element of rarity, exclusivity, and that's how Tisha was created. And Tisha now is our signature fragrance, and it rests in our bath amenities and our room fragrance and in our lobbies. What we also did was, we did another collaboration with a company called Pool, who makes incense sticks using temple flowers.
Oh yes, I've heard about it.
So we got in touch with Ankit, and he's been a great partner for us. What we use, like so many tons of flowers across our hotels. It's almost 10 metric tons of flowers that we use every year, whether it's weddings, whether it's events, whether it's just everyday flowers in our lobbies. And what I started to think when I first joined the Leela, and this was in 2020, was that what happens to these flowers after we use them? We just throw them, we just discard them, and it goes into waste, right? And I was a consumer of Pool. And then I started talking to Ankit, and I said, Ankit, what can we do to upcycle these flowers? And he was only doing temple flowers. He had never done a hotel brand. So we collaborated, we ideated, and now we upcycle the flowers that we use in our hotels. We create incense sticks which are non-toxic, and we infuse them with our signature fragrance. And then we use them for gifting. So there is a whole cycle,
A full circle movement.
a full circle of how that flower comes to us, is used in our hotels, and then gets dried and then is shipped to Pool, and then Pool has 300 women who are employed by him to be able to hand roll these incense sticks, and we give him our fragrance, and he infuses this fragrance, and then he packages it and sends it back. In fact, it's lying right here, you'll see. So this is really, again, about culture, about heritage. We have a concept called ceremonial rituals in our hotels. Every evening, as the day transitions to night, we've taken the concept of diya lighting, which we all do in our homes, right? And as the day ends, you light diyas, and just to bring in light into your home and prosperity and ward off evil. We took the same concept and we converted it into a ritual, and we kind of infused it with a little bit of performance, like a musical performance or a dance performance or some sort of a cultural performance. So you create a sense of place for a guest. So even if a guest is not able to step out of the hotel, because he or she has attended your ceremonial ritual, they know that they are in Udaipur or a New Delhi or a Bangalore or a Chennai, and have had a little bit of a flavor of what the culture of that place is. So culture is deeply rooted in everything that we do.
I wanted to know, how is the brand putting it out? How are you advertising? Are you still relying on traditional? A lot of brands have moved to creators, digital. Today, if I have to book a hotel, if I have to know about a place, I will just go on Instagram. I will just scroll. If something comes to my feed, I find it appealing. That is it.
So Anam, you made a very important point. Like I said in the beginning, our audience is much younger today. Our consumer, the median age of my consumer today, an average age of the guest who comes and stays in a Leela hotel is 42 years. Okay, pre-COVID, this was 55 years. See how wealth has transitioned, see how affordability and the propensity to spend on luxury and the aspiration to experience new things has transitioned, right? Now, coming back to Gen Z, I think the one thing, and I have children who are Gen Z, the one thing, I actually call it reverse mentoring. I learn from them. How are they interacting with brands? How are they consuming brands? So traditional marketing channels that I would use 20 years ago and are not relevant anymore today. Some of them may still be and may not go completely out of the way, but the way a Gen Z today is consuming brands, the way they are interacting with brands, they want brands to come to them in their time and in their space and the way they want to interact with. So unless I evolve my storytelling to a channel that then resonates with people like yourself, then how am I ever going to make sure that they are coming to my hotels and staying and becoming a regular customer of mine, right? So that mix has changed. There is content creation, there are content creators. This has become a big part of it. The channels on which content is being created and pushed out. I mean, is it YouTube more now today, or is it still Instagram, or is it Instagram? Is it Shorts, in Shorts, or is it some other platform? Every day there is something new which is coming up. And you have to stay abreast with it. In the world of AI, it's getting even worse, right? Because content is being churned out in so much, at such speed, and very creative content is being churned out, right? You have to be smart to see what works for you. Where is your customer? How are you going to reach that customer? And what is the best platform for you to tell your story? It could be a long format video, for example, which may work for a certain cohort of people, but you need shorter 30-second, 15-second, 20-second edits to appeal to a completely different cohort. So while I might still create my long format film, I have to think of how am I going to break it up, and what is going to appeal, and what those edits and cuts look like that will catch that attention of a generation that has probably 10 seconds of attention span. And then where am I going to push it, and how am I going to put money behind it? So that is changing, and it's changing every day. What is relevant today may not be relevant even 5 days from now. There was a beautiful analogy that somebody said, told me once at one of the leadership sessions where you attend, people come and speak. And he said, and he was a very well-known marketer, he still is, and he said that imagine a football field and the ball is being kicked around from one end of the field to the other end of the field. We all go running after the ball, trying to catch it first and then to kick it around in the direction that we want to. What we lose sight of while doing that is your goal post. So we marketers are like those football players. Today it's Instagram, tomorrow it's Snapchat, then it's TikTok, then it's something else. And we keep running after them to catch that and see how we can use it. What we're losing track of sometimes is that goal post. Where is my end consumer? How do I need to get my message across to them? How will I convert them? And what is that message? Right? So you have to keep your eyes on that goal post and then figure out what your marketing strategy looks like and what channels you use.
There is one more trend that we are seeing in traveling, that is staycations. Hotels are reimagining their interiors as such that people can just vacation at the hotel, not like just stay at the hotel and go outside. What would you say? And this trend has come, I think, after COVID.
Yeah, so I think staycations have picked up, like you rightly said, a lot of momentum and interest post COVID. But the idea here was also that hotels today and the demand from consumers has evolved to becoming something which is more experiential. You don't have time to step out and see a whole destination and do maybe too many things, but you might just have half a day to do a local sightseeing. But more importantly, you have a lot more time to experience, get away from your daily routine, go and have a nice time, spend some family time together, or me time, or time with friends, and get a whole experience in a sense of place. So hotels have also become very active in thinking creatively on how staycation packages can become more meaningful to the different types of cohorts that they're traveling. It could be couples, it could be families, it could be multi-generational families, it could be a women's only trip, it could be just friends going for a celebratory moment. So different kinds of experiences and the programming to support that in order to be able to also, if you see today, our Prime Minister said, right, travel within India only, don't travel abroad. And this is rightly so with us, the clear reason for us to save foreign currency and keep our money within the country. What other way of escaping do the families have but staycation?
Yeah.
So get out in your city, get out into a drive-to destination, and there is so much to discover in India. I don't think any of us have traveled enough in India to say we've seen it all.
Okay. So like I spoke about in staycation, hotels are renovating, reimagining their interior so that they appeal more aesthetic.
Yeah.
Instagram friendly. So how does Leela ensure that authenticity while having that online aspiration?
So I think we are just blessed and are fortunate that we have such beautiful hotels. Most of them were built, by the previous teams, and we have just become custodians of it. Some of it we have built. So if you see the Leela Palace Jaipur, we opened in 2021, and that's when this team, the current leadership team, has been in place, and that whole property has been renovated and has been brought to life as a palace recently. And it's a fabulous property, and you must go and see it if you haven't seen it. I just mentioned about the Arket Pichola, the villas, right? Those are in Udaipur. Those have been reimagined, and they weren't villas originally. They were tented spa rooms, and we've made them into villas, which are far more elevated in terms of design and aesthetics than even the most beautiful Leela Palace Udaipur that we have. We are just acquired a hotel in Kurg, which we are in the process of rebranding. And there also we're bringing in a lot of programming and the softer touches to ensure that the aesthetics remain still very Leela-like, because that's who we are and that's how the brand is built. But over and above that, and Instagrammable. So there are lots of picture opportunities, both in terms of the experience as well as the aesthetics of the property. And also the fact that, you're appealing to the kind of audience that you're attracting, the various cohorts you're targeting.
So I can say that year on year you are coming up with something new. Like you said that you are in plans of expanding to Coorg, and you are coming up with so many more initiatives.
So this year we will launch 3 hotels. We'll open 3 new hotels. One is the Leela Coorg Forest Sanctuary, which is our very first forest sanctuary. This is 76 acres of land in Coorg. It's forest land, and it has a working coffee plantation. and it is our first nature-led and wellness-forward property. It's got 71 villas. It's an all-villa property, and it also has a 2,700 square feet wellness center with 24 treatment rooms, including a hammam. Now that is pretty special.
Yeah, very luxury. It screams luxury.
Yeah. So that's why the programming there becomes important. That's why the content becomes important. In fact, as we speak, we are shooting content there. The team is there to create content that can then be put on various channels, some of the channels that we've been discussing. And then from here, we'll talk about media fans, we'll talk about content creators, we'll talk about how some maybe celebrity stays. I don't know. The strategy is still being worked out. But all of that will evolve because now you need to position this property. The second property we're opening later this year is the Leela Jaisalmer,
Yes.
which is our desert resort and spa.
Oh.
Again, a beautiful property. And by the way, Kurg has a man-made lake in the 76 acres. It's got a 6-acre lake. Similarly, Jaisalmer is a 30-acre plot, and it's got tented villas, sandscaping, and it's got a lake inside also. So again, going very experiential. What kind of experiences? Lakeside dining, private dining in the middle of the lake, kayaking, fishing. What are those kind of experiences that you can do? And both Kurg and Jaisalmer, stargazing, different kinds of experiences that you can think of, and you can curate. Coffee, big in Kurg, so coffee-based experiences. The whole journey of bean to cup and making that as an experience, and then creating content for it, and then amplifying that content. And the third property that we will open later this year is the Leela Luxury Residences, which will open in Mumbai. And that will be our entry into luxury residences. What we have also done is we've spoken a lot about programming and experiential luxury, is the opening of our private membership clubs. So we opened Arc by the Leela. Arc means distilled essence. As you can see, all the names that I have taken all have their roots in Sanskrit, which is again our culture.
Even the
Tishya or Jasya, Arc by the Leela. So Arc is again, we opened it in Bangalore in November. We've opened the second one in Delhi just a couple of weeks ago. And then we're opening the next one in Chennai, and then going forward will be Mumbai as well. Okay. So Arc is a private membership club by invitation only. Super, super luxury and very, very programming based. And the target here is your visionaries, your thought leaders, and your trailblazers, who are the movers and shakers of society.
Yeah. So I can see that while you do so much every year, how do you, I can see that advertising is a big part of Leela. We may not see so many campaigns coming out like every month or something, but I can see that through experiences, you are advertising a lot.
Yeah.
So how would you say year on year is your AdX evolving, and what kind of ROI do you see?
Different channels and different ways of, every year we learn from what can't be measured. Actually, what you don't measure, you are never able to track. So it becomes important for us to measure. I would say that, the hits on our website have gone up 4 times over the last, let's say, 2 years. The ROIs have continued to grow exponentially. Today, almost 50% of our business is coming from room revenue. Oh. So food and beverage has become a big part. Wellness is becoming a big part of the monies that we make as part of our top line. So, and all of this is a mix of all the channels.
Right, right.
We invest heavily in PR. We have a very good and powerful relationship with most media houses,
Right.
not just in India but globally as well. And we have a lot of agency support there. Digital, we mentioned, is doing pretty well. Social storytelling is important for us also. Content creation, which is large format, small format, mix of formats, that is also important. We have a very strong CRM strategy as well. And we see really good results from there. Almost 35% is our open rate for CRMs as well, which is quite high compared to industry benchmarks.
Right.
So that also becomes important for us. And then partnerships, also a key part of everything that we do. Yeah, so it's a mix of everything.
Well, seems like Leela has a lot to look forward to, and there is a lot lot coming for us also to see. So all the best to you, Anjali.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Anam. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yes.
And please come and visit Coorg, the next property that we're opening.
Yes, sure will do. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.